how do we meet the needs of your child and your family? How do we meet the needs and look at what your underlying needs are and begin to wrap those services around you?
So in my role, some of the challenges that I see families with infants and toddlers face are access to housing and other forms of discrimination or social determinants of health that we see in communities, particularly in areas that are under-resourced or have high levels of unemployment or low educational attainment. And so families don't necessarily know where to go to receive the support that they need. And particularly for childhood developmental delays, having those identified early can mean the difference of really an improved quality of life for the child and their entire family.
I feel there are a number of factors that can hold a family back from seeking help. One of the first ones is not even knowing what is available, what services are out there. They may not know about anything DHHS has to offer, especially birth to 3 services for their children. I think other things that may hold them back are around access to those services, especially children of color who do not have the same access or know not to get the services in the same timely manner as their white children counterparts.
What we know is that 78% of Black and Latino families, they diagnose later on for developmental delays than any other race. We have to do better there. And so our goal for this grant and moving forward is to make sure that we're having a greater impact and that all families, no matter what their race is, they're getting their needs met, and that starts at birth.
One of the major benefits of early intervention for these types of services, particularly with birth to 3 and children's long-term support, is that making sure that young people's needs are addressed in a preventative way or a proactive way so that it's not misdiagnosed as something else later on in life.
Being able to address the needs of children from the time they're born all the way up till age 3 has an impact on their later life. If they're able to get the interventions earlier, they then are less likely to enter into the youth justice system, for example. They're more likely to have their educational needs met. The whole needs of the child are being addressed from day one.
We have a child juvenile justice system. What we found is that 40% of those youth in our juvenile justice system have a social emotional concern or issue, right? So if we identify that at an earlier age, the benefit to our community is impactful. Here in Milwaukee County, in our juvenile justice system, we pay over $1,200 per day to lock our kids up. That's $400,000 per youth for our incarceration system. We're changing the narrative. How do we invest in our birth to 3 services earlier on so our children don't end up in the deeper end of the system? This is about going out there in the community and saying, we are going to do this together. We are going to prevent our children from ending up in the deeper end of the system because we are going to educate earlier on. We are going to empower earlier on. We are going to wrap services around just not the toddler, the baby, the youth, but also the family.
Birth to 3 is an entitlement program, which means every child who qualifies and needs this level of services should be able to get those services. And Milwaukee County, I think, is doing a lot of work around making sure children, families, individuals, healthcare providers, education, childcare providers, everyone in the community knows about what Birth to 3 is and how Birth to 3 can help that child and that family, making sure that children and families in every community across Milwaukee County has access to the Birth to 3 services, and really addressing some of those root causes of the discrimination and racism that has existed in structures across government.
I have a 3-year-old son, and I was concerned about his mental health. I was concerned about his behaviors and his tantrums. And this social emotional grant not just helped the families in Milwaukee County and the community, it helped me as the leader of Department of Health and Human Services to help my child, to help him through the emotions that he was dealing with as a 3-year-old, as a 1-year-old, as a 2-year-old. And so this program benefits Milwaukee County as a whole, no matter what your title is, no matter what your role is. It is us as a whole, creating a healthy community for our babies, for our toddlers, for our families.